Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Destiny video. Today I am taking a look at the First Order Stormtrooper. I'm going to continue um, going through all the cards in order. So we did Captain Phasma, and now we're looking at the First Order Stormtrooper. It has 7 hit points. It also costs 7 points toward your 30-point limit. And we're going to take a quick look at the die. So it has a 1 damage side, a 2 damage side, a 2 damage side at the cost of 1 resource, a resource side, and 2 blanks. The 2 blanks kind of do bring it down a little bit, but if you use it in the proper deck, the 2 blanks can actually be beneficial. For example, I'm running 2 of these in my Darth Vader deck, so I'm only running 1 Vader and 2 of these Stormtroopers, and these Stormtroopers have 2 blanks on each die, which means if I use the blue support card called Power of the Dark Side, I can exhaust that support, roll one of my dice, and if it ends up on a blank, it causes 2 unblockable damage to a character. So these Stormtroopers are great to combine with that particular card. They're also very low costed, so you can run, if you had 4 of these, you can run 4 Stormtroopers in a deck and be at 28 points. You can also pair them with other characters such as, I said, Vader pairs well with them, and so does Captain Phasma because of the her Guardian ability, which would put Guardian on. Let's say you're running her and 2 Stormtroopers, you get Guardian on both of the Stormtroopers, and you can absorb some of the damage. And basically, you're using Stormtroopers the way they're used in the movies. They're just kind of like cannon fodder. They they aren't particularly great, but they basically get shot at and take damage, and that's what they do in the game as well. You can use their dice to do some damage. One of the sides does have a resource cost, but it's only one, so you could do 2 damage with that one resource, or if you have a card that lets you resolve dice without having to pay the resource cost on those dice, you can do 2 damage without having to pay that cost. So the Stormtroopers are good in that regard. You can also, attach various weapons on them to give them more range damage and plus range and damage that is modified as well. So, like I said, they only have 7 health, but you can run 4 of these. And if you're also running Squad Tactics, which is a neutral card, I believe it lets you activate all of your red non-unique characters at once. So if you had 4 Stormtroopers out, be able to roll all 4 of those dice at one time, plus whatever upgrades and weapons you have on them. So if you had a Stormtrooper with like a D817 blaster, another Stormtrooper with the F11 blaster, another one with another F11, and let's say one more with even something just like a grenades or something like that, you could essentially roll. Like if you had one attachment on each Stormtrooper, you could be rolling 8 dice at once if you use the Squad Tactics card. So the Stormtroopers definitely do have some use. Um, and like I said, in the deck that I'm using, I'm mostly using them and other dice that have multiple blank sides to cause 2 unblockable damage with Power of the Dark Side. There's also another good event card called Nowhere to Run, which if you pair that with Power of the Dark Side, you're rolling dice and hoping to get blanks, cause those 2 unblockable damage. Nowhere to Run lets you change any of your dice that are blanks to whatever sides you want. So you get a bunch of damage out with Power of the Dark Side, then use Nowhere to Run, flip all the dice to sides that do damage or sides that do specials, and then you can just get the next time you resolve dice, you just resolve all of them. It will probably be more beneficial to change all your dice to dice that have probably like range damage on them using that, because when you resolve a die in Star Wars Destiny, you can also resolve other dice of the same type. So if you resolve a range damage, you can resolve another die that has range damage, or a die that has modified range damage, and so on. So if you roll them all with Squad Tactics, you can then next round, um, if you use Nowhere to Run as well, flip them all over to damage slot to range damage, then activate the range damage and just do a bunch of damage at once. So the Stormtroopers definitely do have some use. They're really good at like a filler card because they're so cheap. You can run even with a lot of elite characters. You can still end up possibly getting 2 of these out. If your elite characters have, let's say, are at if you're using like a 14 point elite, you can still run um, two stormtroopers and be at 28 points. So it's still a pretty good card. But that's going to do it for this video. We're going to come back next with the video on General Grievous, another red character, another villain character as well. Just going to continue going through the list. Like I said, next up will be General Grievous, and we'll move on from there. But I just want to thank everybody for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.